Hey,
Hi.
hey, Renu, lovely having this chit chat on
Oh,
Instagram, right?
so good to see you, and thank you for giving us all your time. Seriously, it's such an honor for me to have you. From the bottom of my heart, I'm so grateful.
It's such a pleasure, such a pleasure. I mean, talking about sharing passion and talking about those passions is always such a pleasure, especially in this quite difficult environment. So, to share a little bit of quality time together is more than a joyful thing.
Quite like your frames. I think they are matching with my scarf. I mean, I just thought of cracking that up, but okay, okay. So guys, thank you very much for giving us all your time. So let me begin. Bulgari. Bulgari is an Italian brand inspired by rich Roman history. The brand honors its culture and heritage through modern design and products ranging from jewelry to fragrances, accessories, and watches. And the brand history dates back to 1884 when Sotiro Bulgari, a Greek immigrant, opened his first shop in Rome. And now, we have all the stores open worldwide. And with us is Giampaolo, who's been associated with Bulgari for 35 years. And no, that's like a long number of years to be with Bulgari, seriously. So he's been with the company for 35 years. He is a senior high jewelry director. So, and of course, nobody knows Bulgari better than him. He's traveled around the world, and today he's here talking to us about the legacy of the brand. So, thank you so much for giving us all your time. I would like to know your first memory with jewelry and how did you realize that jewelry is your true calling?
So this is a memory which goes very far in the past
Okay.
because actually my grandfather, he was a judge, a lawyer, and he loved jewels. And as a young boy, I mean, I was around 10, I
Wow.
used to go with him to Bulgari to in Rome to look for the jewels, sometimes to offer to my grandma or to my mom. So that has been something for a boy so impressive. If you get, even nowadays, when I go into the Bulgari boutique in Rome, all those witnesses from the past, all those beautiful columns, furnitures, they are quite breathtaking, right? So, yeah, Rome definitely can offer amazing corners, but
Right.
definitely my love affair started when my grandfather bought that very trombino ring to my
Okay.
grandma, and they were so nice. Yeah, it was similar to that. It was smaller though. It was an emerald set in the center, which is this one here now.
Oh, so
This is a cufflink that I had the chance to
lovely.
work on. You see,
Right.
transforming that very ring when my grandma gave it to me a long time ago when I was 18. She asked me, okay, this is something I definitely want you to have. Then please find a way to wear it on. And that remained quite a long time in the safe
Uh,
till when I thought, oh my gosh, maybe I can't wear it as a ring, but
right.
I can wear it as a cufflink. So how to match such a big gem? I mean, a precious gem. And I was very much creative. Look, I had a cufflink, a pair of cufflinks
Okay.
setting a diamond
Right.
round shaped and
Right.
an emerald cut
Wow.
on different frames, following what I learned at Bulgari, because definitely Bulgari since then was in my heart.
How lovely. So tell me, talk to us about your journey with the brand for 35 years.
Well, I'm a gemologist, so I had this dream as soon as I had my diploma. I tried to get in touch with the Bulgari brothers, and it was quite funny because at the very beginning, this tall gentleman, Mr. Paolo, was looking at me like, what are you gonna tell me about gems? I know everything. But he was very, in a way, surprised by this young boy. I was 24 and 23 actually, and he was so fascinated by the fact that a young guy had such a big passion for jewelry. And little by little, I had several, of course, interviews. And then there was a magic person who opened her heart, my heart, and the Bulgari heart. And this person is Lucia Silvestri.
Of course, of course.
Yes, our friend Lucia, who is now the creative director, but at that time she was in charge of buying the gems. And all my best memories in terms of travels, passion for gems, learnings, because I'm a gemologist, but you know, gemologists are very, in a way, they have a very scientific approach to gems, whereas the heart, you can't learn how to have this heart and this emotion while looking at gems. Right. So definitely Lucia shared her passion, and she taught me how to open my heart to the beauty of a gem. So how to disclose the beauty of a gem, and not merely looking into the certificate. I remember the first time she showed me a box full of, she asked me, she was very tricky. She asked me, what about your favorite gem? And I said, oh, spinels or rubies. And she took a box in red leather. She opened it, and there were 3 layouts of huge rubies. I was about to die. And she told me, I teach you how to have this feeling every time you will look at the gem. So I perfectly remember, and I will keep it forever.
So I really hope that Lucia, she's hearing this entire conversation. And Lucia, I really want to meet up with you very soon. So whenever you are coming to India, to Mumbai, to Jaipur, wherever, it will be our absolute honor to come and see you, because, I can see her passion through whatever she posts on her social media, to whatever, she's talking about it. I can just see passion flowing through her words, and her heart, and the way, and the way she will hold those gemstones. It is just so beautiful. So Lucia, this is all for you, and we are looking forward to seeing you very soon, one day in Bombay.
Actually, I travel a lot. I love traveling. That is one of my passion.
I'm sure.
Yeah, but India now is a bit difficult. I don't know when we will be back to travel. Anyways, the journey I had with this lady was to discover, to better understand gems, but also to better understand the jewelry style, the style to infuse the jewels with.
Right. So now, you've spoken to us about your passion towards gemstone. So I would love to hear about your passion towards Rome, and what made you be in Rome and to stay in Rome, and the whole inspiration about Rome.
Actually, I was born in Rome, and as soon as I'm frank, as soon as I had the chance, I became a gemologist and I had the chance to travel. I traveled to Paris and I knocked several doors, but I couldn't stand like that. I had still Rome in my heart, and through this picture, you can definitely understand the reason why. So still, my pleasure in the weekends is to walk through the beauties which are in this open air museum. And this is something that with my friends you see. So every corner you have something which is super magnificent and which is very inspiring, I would say. So all these things led me, all this beauty, real beauty, led me to seriously think about staying here and look for a nice job here. And suddenly Bulgari came. So since then, I'm very happy to walk around this beautiful city.
So I believe that Bulgari has been your first company that you've been associated with since 35 years. How lucky.
Yeah, I started the first 6 months after the diploma. I started working at the IGI, so the Italian Gemological Institute, but just for a few months, and then Bulgari came, and I say, yeah.
I think that really calls for a big applause, you know, to being with the...
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. How can it, you know, Renu, how can you say no to those people like you who say, oh, lucky you, this is the most beautiful job in the whole universe?
Right.
You know, if I think about my journey with Bulgari, was and is still fascinated.
I'm sure. I'm sure. And we really wish you all the very best, you know, for many, many, many more years ahead, you know, coming your way. Seriously. Okay, so now moving on, you know, I would love to hear the entire best-selling pieces of the brand over a period of years.
Let's share the emotions I had since the very beginning to touch some specific jewels, because at the very beginning I was in charge of the quality control, so I was in the gemological lab, so
Right.
it was very easy for me to have such a masterpieces in my hands, starting by the trombino my grandma used to have. This is the red version. There is also a super beautiful blue version, which is this one here, exactly. You know what? In the 30s, what I liked very much starting and learning about the style, the evolution of the style in jewelry, which was quite slow throughout the centuries. So from the Roman throughout the Middle Aegean times, the style didn't evolve that much.
Okay.
So techniques were pretty the same.
Okay.
After that, the style evolved a little bit faster. So during the Renaissance and then the 1700s, but starting by the industrialization period, so I would say the mid 1800s, the jewelry style changed quite drastically and being quite fast, going quite fast. So the turn of the century, the jewels used to be generally very much black and white, you know, this kind of Art Nouveau and then Deco style. And what I liked very much about Bulgari is that since then, since the 30s, the end of the 20s, Bulgari tended to be very modern, very unapologetic. So if I have to think about a diva to represent this style at that time is Greta Garbo. Super glamorous, fascinating, and very much um, grabbing the attention of those audience with a high discerning taste for beauty.
Right.
But then, of course, the style
Hmm.
had quite fast evolution, and I have to say, I simply love the inspiration Bulgari has from nature, the world of nature, the way we are inspired by nature. So not merely copying nature. So, but instead living nature. So you know that nature is all about flowers, grass, animals, but it's also about feelings. The feelings that some colors blended together or some flowers blended together can give you. So the scent of a bouquet of flowers in this brooch, for instance. So in the 40s and the 50s, down to the 60s, Bulgari explored very much the world of flowers and flower composition. Look at this. This
Right.
is to die for. Can you imagine? I loved this brooch since the first time I saw it,
Right.
because who else can blend different colors, but also different textures. Here you have opaque gems such
Yes.
as turquoise, diamonds, rubies, emeralds, sapphires.
Hmm.
So it's a chromatic Eden, if you want, capturing your eyes and your attention, but in a very smooth and nice way. So very harmonious. And this is what I like so much. And this is, in my opinion, one of the secrets at Bulgari.
And how about the,
Oh my gosh. So my favorite actress since ever is actually, I'm a little bit an old gentleman, right? So
no,
yeah.
I
And, and
that
the
I have.
four, I'm very passionate and fond of Ingrid Bergman's movies.
Okay.
I love very much her chic, her simple way to be beautiful and elegant,
Right.
and she liked so much the Bulgari jewels, especially the trembling brooches. She had a quite nice collection. Uh, the trembling brooches are, for me, the epitome at Bulgari because they blend the rarity of the gems. For instance, here you have fancy colored diamonds such as pink and yellow and orangey diamonds, but also the manufacturing, I mean, the artistic way to set those gems because each single flower can move, can tremble a bit. So while wearing the brooch, you have all the flowers moving with you. It's unbelievable. It's something that you really need to have in your hand. And when these kind of brooches go to the auction trade, oh my gosh, the huge amount of money you have to spend to get it is up to the sky.
So tell me, how long does it take, for manufacturing these kind of exclusive pieces?
Oh, easily more than 1 year. Actually, I call those jewels our babies. You know why? Because it takes more than 9 months as a child. So those definitely are so much loved, and it's a continuous work to put together the gems, to blend and harmonize their colors, then to
Right.
think about the concept, the idea, to give a structure to those gems. So it's a quite long process, and it takes easily more than 1 year, up to 2 years. It depends. Well, it depends also on how easy is to find the gems. Sometimes, quite often, we start straight from the gems. So we need to have the gems first, and then we can work around the idea.
Right, right. So,
but there are a lot of jewels that inspired my mind. Beside these trembling brooches, there is a super beautiful, let's say, form of art, which I learned from Mr. Nicola Bulgari this time, the younger out of the two brothers. He is a superb collector. He's an art collector. He's a antique coin collector. He's a antique car collector. So with Mr. Nicola Bulgari, what I had was to learn the passion on antique coins. He was so smart, and in the early 70s, he decided to set, instead of a gem, a coin into a jewel. And that was such a booming idea, because a lot of ladies at that times, even nowadays, jewels, let's say the big, bold, opulent, important, into commas, black tie jewels are super important to celebrate, to go for fun as a sort of an investment from handing down from mother to daughters and so on and so far. But to have a jewel like this one here, or a long chain hosting an antique coin, first of all, is what I name a conversation piece. It's something you can talk about, and you can share your, let's say, knowledge even, because you can talk about a coin which is worth it since 2000 of years. All those are genuine antique coins dating the 5th century BC down to the 5th century AD. So collecting those coins and setting those coins on masterpieces like the Tubogas, which is another trade signature design at Bulgari, was to me very much linked with the modernity
right.
Of the brand.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I just want to stop you because I just saw Lucia signed in. So, Lucia, here's a big shout out and a big hi from all of us. And we love you so much. We really love you a lot, Lucia. Okay, so now, I would like to know about the entire serpentine collection also, which Bulgari has made.
Yeah, actually, Bulgari is very famous for certain symbols, such as the serpents, the serpenti. But again, this is, I love very much this perspective. Is not merely copying the animal, the real animal, is the meaning. The snake, the serpent, since the Egyptians used to be adored as gods, because they used to protect the soul and used to protect the power, the strength of the human being. So being the reason why the pharaohs, the kings and the queens, used to have a snake on their head. And through that, you see, Cleopatra and the fantastic Liz Taylor. So as a symbol of the power and as a symbol of the eternal soul of life, Serpenti is definitely such an important way to embody the precious gems into a jewels, the important gems into a jewel. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yes. This is, you see, we love, my friend Andrea would love this video with the watch, which is hidden into this serpent. It's super nice. So if you are a nice lady who doesn't like to show she's impatient in a party, arriving at the party and watches and looking at the time, if you wear this watch, you can open discreetly and you can know when is it without showing that you are impassioned to go.
So now moving on, you spoke about that lovely choker, but tell me, I mean, how easy or difficult it is to wear such a huge necklace? Like, oh my God.
Oh, so this is another magic at Bulgari. So the fact that our goldsmiths, they know exactly how a pair of earrings, a choker, and a bracelet, I mean, the perfect weight to make it wearable. Okay. And they have they can work on so many techniques, such as the tubogas, which is empty inside, to keep the suppleness, the flexibility, and the wearability of those jewels. So craftsmanship is of a prime importance at Bulgari. The harmonization of the gems, for sure, as well as how to create those jewels articulated. Why? Because when Mr. Bulgari tells Lucia or myself or the designers his idea of jewel, he mentioned always something very much figurative, okay, such as I would love these earrings being sort of a gentle caress on your cheek. Lovely. Or this necklace has to be a soft pashmina around your neck. So you see, it's not that easy. Look at this, come on. So this huge collar, when you look at that, the first reaction I had is, oh my gosh, how is it feasible to create, I mean, when I saw the design, to create something like that. It took more than 14 months, 1 year and a half. In the workshop, we used to go as if it was a tailor shop. So there was a bust and there was this choker, this huge collar, and the artisans had to add in and out the gems within their bezel, recutting a bit, readjusting the little hinges, the little chains, to have something that, despite the fact that gems are never identical one to another, the whole thing was very much symmetrical and very much even and homogeneous on the décolleté. And the whole thing is less than 300 grams. So absolutely astonishing. The fact that the golden hands of our goldsmiths can really realize the impossible. Definitely.
So beautiful.
Definitely.
So beautiful. So moving on, since you spoke about gemstones, I know for the fact that Lucia and you travel around the world sourcing for the best gemstones. So talk to us about the whole fondness of Bulgari and gemstones.
Actually, I used to, and I still, those are my most beautiful memory. Oh, you see here, Lucia. I had sort of, and still have a sort of a reverence for my master, because she has been, and she is my master in terms of sensibility to choose a gem.
Of course.
I still can learn from her, but also in terms of style. She's naturally stylish.
Of course.
So I'm still learning a lot, but unfortunately, we can't travel still together to look at these beauties, because now I'm in charge of the high-end jewelry. She's in charge of the whole creativity, all the buyers. So she travels to look at the gems, but I travel to learn about human beings in a way that when I support the unveiling on certain high-end jewelry collections, is super interesting to meet the clients, to meet the ladies and the gentlemen, of course, and to understand their personality, to click with them, to try to read their dreams, to compete with ourselves when I'm back. Sometimes I go to the events with quite often with Lucia. So when we are back on the plane, we quite a lot of time we think about, oh, did you see the way the lady used to wear that very choker? It's very intriguing. Why don't we try to make something similar? Blah 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 blah. So it's very.
Sorry, Lucia just commented, we are the perfect couple for gems. Lucia?
Yeah.
So we are the perfect couple for gems.
Yes, darling. I miss her because in this lockdown, oh, come on, it's so difficult and complicated. But anyways,
Sure.
Sooner or later we will be back.
Yes, I'm sure we will be back soon.
Yes, yes.
So you've spoken so much about travel, and meeting wonderful people and sharing your experiences and sharing your passion. Your life appears like a big movie to me, since you've just met so many lovely people. So it's no less than a cinema to me.
Yes. Yeah, it's quite interesting because yeah, I'm traveling as in a movie. It seems to be unreal, but it's real. And it's not by chance. I mean, our latest collection is named Cinemagia. So it's all about the magic world. You see, this is, oh my gosh. No, ladies, you must have this necklace in your hands and on your neck. It's juicy. When you look at the gems, you can taste them. And when you have it in your skin, you feel the queen of the whole universe. This is simply astonishing. But it's also easy. So sometimes we feel ourselves overwhelmed by such a jewel, but it's not. This is the secret. My advice, ladies, when you have the chance to look at Bulgari jewels, don't stop just to the first impression. Don't look only the jewel itself. Try it on, touch it, because the hundreds of shades of emotion that jewel can communicate are unbelievable. So yeah.
And there you go. So that's gorgeous. Again.
Oh yes.
Color.
Yeah, color. I mean, the color is at the base of our DNA. I would say that in all our lives, Renu, I think colors make us happy. Colors have the goal, the aim to bring the light and the life into our souls. So definitely, yeah.
So now moving on, tell me that you have met so many beautiful ladies. So what do they look inside a piece of jewelry?
Yeah, it's very interesting to study the jewels depending on the ladies and to create, so to add some hint to the jewel to match that very lady. So for instance, jewels are not only for ladies. We do have jewels that we sell to gentlemen. So here we have iconic Chinese actors and actresses.
Right.
All the ladies are crazy for Chris Wu, of course. And you can see the same necklace endorsed in different ways.
Right.
So the creativity of people, the curiosity of people is something that I like very much.
Right.
How they want to play, to use a jewel as a game, as a toy.
Right.
So these are more, let's say, creative, out of the box thinking kind of people. But then we do have also those very, oh yeah, Sharon Stone. Those ladies who are absolutely self-confident. They like very much to go bold. They like to wear their furs. They love to wear their colorful
Right.
jewels. And for those ladies, we have such a huge, wide selection of jewels, definitely.
So
So,
beautiful. This is absolutely
yes, like the whole set is nothing for me.
oh,
And then and then we have also the fine connoisseurs, so the ladies who like to collect gems. And the way they want to collect is framed into, let's say, a creative setting, framed by a big brand
okay.
to add value. Yeah,
Okay.
to add value.
All right. And now
Such as Sophia Loren.
and now, of course, talking about the Indian beauty, that's Sonam Kapoor in your recent campaign.
She is such a princess. Actually, she is a princess. And she's a Marani. Oh my gosh. And the way she has this beautiful neck,
right.
And the way she wears, especially chokers or draper kind of chokers, is sublime. She's natural, and the way she moves.
So now, tell us about the art of collecting jewelry.
Oh, that is another super important topic, because you can do jewels no matter the different cultures. You can go jewels merely by, for instance, follow a path. So it's very important to have the very first step, right? So the first step might be to collect an important gem. Or it might be to go for a specific creativity, which means a lot to you. For instance, the snake, to go toward the snake, collecting the snakes, the serpentine jewels, because serpentine means a lot as a symbol to you. So, or a gem, the blue sapphire or the spinel, because it's part of your, let's say, zodiac gem, right?
Right.
So from that very first point onward, my advice is to go always from the ring, maybe, to the earrings, to the necklace. So having, let's say, a set which is gonna add value to, in case in the future you want to release those jewels, you want to go on auction or with those jewels. That is super important, because the jewels together as a set are gonna to reinforce their value.
Right.
I have some examples of Bulgari set which are fantastic.
There you go.
Yeah, you see. So the blue sapphire, the gem for the mind, set in those shiny yet very light, like laces, frames. You see, again, sapphire with sapphire.
Perfect.
And then maybe not necessarily, like here, rubies with rubies, and not necessarily keeping the same shape of the gem. That is secondary, but the most important is keeping the color. So if you can keep the color, the same red you have on the necklace, will be on the earrings and the ring, that is going to be a superb set. Not very important to match exactly the shape. Or jade. This is a superb set of jade, jade, which is also very rare. And also here you can see the passion of the brand to blend colors together. The green of the jade with the red of garnets, the grape color garnets. Super nice.
These are such beautiful examples, you know, of the entire pieces that one can collect over a period of time. You know, take one gemstone that resonates with you, be it sapphire, be it ruby, be it emerald, be it jade, and collect those pieces. And I'm sure that at the end of many years, we'll have a gorgeous collection, of jewels ourselves.
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
So now tell me, how hard it is, maybe to get a high jewelry piece manufactured, or like what are the challenges that comes your way, when you have to source gemstone or manufacture gemstone jewelry.
Actually, as I mentioned, it's a long path because first of all, we have to go to collect the gems.
Right.
So Lucia and team, they traveled to collect the gems. And then we have to think about an idea to put the gems together. So harmonizing the color, but also thinking about the kind of design to give as a frame to those gems.
Beautiful.
The designing part is equally important because our designers need to know a lot about how to craft a jewel, because they can't design the impossible, even though sometimes they do, but they need to know if a certain design can be feasible, can be transformed into a jewel. And then the goldsmith. So going to our atelier, we do have a lovely atelier here in Rome with those incredible artists. They are artists.
The artists, absolutely, absolutely. So I believe I can see books. Sorry, you were saying something.
No, just to tell you that next time you come to Rome, next time I come to Mumbai, I come to say you hello and to have a lovely chit chat. But next time you come to Rome, please come. I'd love to show you our boutique, our little museum on the first floor named Domus, which is private and nice, super nice.
For sure. So before we close, I can see too many books in the background. So is there any recommendation that you would like to give to the audience listening to you? Any particular book on jewelry, on craftsmanship, which they can read and they can, imbibe all the wonderful knowledge?
For sure, there are a lot of books. There is one which I like very much. Actually, it's in Italian, but I think it's also translated in English, is the meaning of the crystals. Okay. So how the crystals can have healing powers. That is super nice because there are beautiful pictures and nice description also on the meaning. You know, for me, something is beautiful if means a lot to me. Otherwise, no way. And of course, our Bulgari books, because we have plenty of lovely stories behind the jewels.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so my last question is that are you planning to open a store in Mumbai or in India?
I live this in India. We do have boutiques. We do have boutiques in Delhi and in Mumbai, yes. And I leave my colleagues who are online to give you all the addresses and everything. For sure. Because really it's going to be a super beautiful experience to get into those boutiques, which are very much charismatic. Not only the jewels, even the box is super nice. And trust me, the best coffee in town. Italian coffee in town.
So to have this coffee, to see your jewelry, to see your books, to see your entire relationship, everything. I'm going to spend 2 whole days just by Bulgari, just by you and just by Lucia. Yes, so
thank you. I know.
To take your leave, and thank you so much for giving me your time. I would like to extend my gratitude to the entire Bulgari team, to Lucia, for helping us get through this entire conversation, to each and every member of the team. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.